Good morning, good afternoon. I hope you are doing very well. Today I have a new video for you, and this video talks about أوزان الفعل الثلاثي. Measure one verbs, the verbs that only have three letters. I would like to take this moment and say Merry Christmas for those who celebrate Christmas. And for all of you, I would like to say Happy New Year. With that being said, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel, share the videos with friends, family members, and also like the video. Thank you so much. And let's go there and see what we have or what I have for you today. All right, family, let's start right now. Let's see أوزان الفعل الثلاثي. ثلاثي came from ثلاثة, and ثلاثة in Arabic is three. So وزن in Arabic, وزن is to weigh, like to weigh something, like to weigh 1 pound, 2 pounds, 3 pounds. That's وزن. أوزان means measures, that's the plural form, measures. فعل, the verb. First of all, I want to single out that here we'll only be talking about three-letter verbs. As you can see here, Kataba, 3 letters, Darasa, and so on and so forth. And the conjugation for these 3-letter root verbs only he, because the infinitive form of Arabic verbs are derived from he did in the past tense. So that's why you see here our infinitive verb to do, to write, to study, they look like this column here in the past tense. Same, same, same. All right. So I have covered a lot of, or I have covered how to form past tense, present tense, the imperative form, not so much with the al-masdar, which is the verbal noun. And also I have covered how to form the subject or the fa'il, subject, al-maf'ul, the object, and you see here, and how to come up with the name of the place or the time. But most of the time, 90% here on this column, we'll be talking about the place or the location. Let's see our verb here, fa'ala. Fa'ala is to do, but fa'ala here, we're not using it as a verb. We use fa'ala here as a scale or as a measurement or unit of measurement. We measure everything else against fa'ala. Even though fa'ala is to do, but I can measure fa'ala against fa'ala, but I will end up having the same thing here. If I put fa'ala here and measure it against fa'ala, I will end up having the same thing. So there's no need for that. Instead, so I used another verb, a 3-letter root verb, which is kataba. Kataba is to write. And then how we weigh our 3-letter root verbs with fa'ala. We have the first letter here, fa, and that, will be measured against this kaf. That's why I highlighted in red. So fa and kaf. And then ain with the ta, and then lam with the ba. So in Arabic, we call kaf the fa of the verb, and we call the letter ta the ain of the verb, and we call the letter ba the lam of the verb. And that could go to this one too. We call this dal the fa of the verb, and we call the letter ra the ain of the verb, and we call the letter sin the lam of the verb, because fa'ala is our unit of measurement. Like you have 1 pound, like one physical pound, and you weigh everything else against the pound. So you have the scale and you put the pound, and you have kataba, you put kataba, has to be equal. Darasa has to be equal, because fa'ala is 1 pound. This one has to be one pound. And I can tell you from this example or from this analogy, this one is also 1 pound. How do I know that? Because it has 3 letters, 1, 2, 3, and fa'ala has 3, 1, 2, 3. So we weigh fa'ala, kataba again is fa'ala, darasa, everything else. So fa'ala is just our wild card. So we weigh everything against it. So let's see how we can form past tense from kataba. And I have talked about this many times, but I am going to do just like a review to conclude this year, 2022. And when this happens, you will have how to form the past tense, the present tense, the imperative, the verbal noun, the subject, the object, the place or time from the three-letter root. And we are talking about only three-letter root verbs that are, we call them sound verbs, only sound verbs. Sound verbs do not have any long vowels in them. No long vowel here. Like kataba, and I mean by long vowel in Arabic, waw, alif, ya. You know, we call sound verbs because there is no long vowel here. All right. So kataba is to write. Kataba, he wrote in the past tense. Fil madi, the present tense. Ya, yaktub, yaktub, he writes. Could be he is writing at the ing. Yaktub, and that's yaktub. The imperative form from kataba, uktub, uktub, write. Like write this, write it. You give it an order. The verbal noun for the three-letter root verbs, the verbal noun is kind of shaky and there's no set to follow. Have a lot of forms, so it's kind of challenging a little bit. But here, kataba, uktub, kitaba. That's the verbal noun. We call it al-masdar, kitaba, writing. And then from the subject, if you want to form the doer, the person who writes or the writer will be katib. And that is fa'il. That's in Arabic, fa'il means subject. So katib is the fa'il or the doer. Maf'ul, an object is maf'ul in Arabic. And maf'ul here is maktub, the written, the things that's been written. And the written document could be a book, could be a column, could be an article, could be anything, but it's maktub, the written, as a result of this guy or this person doing the writing. And then we have maktab, office. Maktab could be desk also because the place of writing. And that's how you see, what you see here is the meme. You add the meme here, you gotta add the meme because as we said at the beginning, it's a scale. Like we have 1 pound. When you add something to the 1 pound, like 2 ounces or 1 ounce, you gotta add it to the verb too, or to the sugar or to the milk that you trying to weigh it. So whatever addition you do it to this one, that has to happen for the verbs or for the stuff that we weigh. Alif here, alif. Okay, let's take another one. Darasa. Darasa is to study, to study. And he studied the past tense, the same because everything is formed of this column here. Okay, al-hadir, the present, yadrus. The imperative, udrus, study, udrus. And the verbal noun is dirasa. That's the noun, the study or studying. Same thing, the study, the noun. That's the masdar or the verbal noun. So as of right now, we have utilized this one here. Fi'ala, because here kitaba, dirasa. All right. And fa'il, the subject from darasa is daris, the studier, if that's the verb. But here I mean the person who studies. All right. And madrus, the thing that is being studied, could be reading, listening, how that depends on how you study. So that's be madrus, the studied materials. And then you see madrasa. Madrasa is the place of studying. Generally, you could study anywhere. But that's why you see here the tamarbuta is just added to indicate that this name is a feminine name. All right. This one here is still, we have our 1 pound here, and we are going to weigh anything, all the rest against 1 pound. We are going to weigh the milk, sugar, whatever you have. Let's weigh it. Tabakha. Tabakha is to cook. So he cooked. Tabakha, the same as the infinitive verb. يطبخ, that's the present tense. يطبخ. See, يطبخ, he cooks or he is cooking. If you want to order that person to cook, اطبخ, cook. All right. And then the verbal noun or the masdar here is طبخ, طبخ. And we are using the first one here, this one, طبخ. See, the first letter has fatha and the second letter has a sukoon. And then for the doer or for the subject, al-fa'il, we have طابخ. طابخ is the form, but we use طباخ. And then the object or مفعول, مطبوخ. مطبوخ is this thing that's being cooked. Could be meat, could be spaghetti, could be anything. And then we have مطبخ, the place of cooking, and that is the kitchen. Okay, let's see Ghassala. Ghassala is to wash, and he washed his car, for instance. Ghassala, same thing. And then he washes or he is washing his car. يغسل, يغسل. If you want to order that person to wash something, say اغسل, اغسل, wash, اغسل. And then the verbal noun is غسل. And then we are utilizing this form because we have more than one form, that why you see the 3 dots. But these are a major one, and then there are other forms to come. So غسل is washing, and then غاسل is the person who washes, or the washer. Could be the dishwasher, could be anything, because that thing will be the doer. Okay, and then مغسول. مغسول, I forgot to highlight the meme here in red. So the meme has to be highlighted in red to match here, to match this one. مغسول is the thing that is being washed. Sorry, not wash or cleaned. And then مغسلة. مغسلة, this is a feminine noun, but I can tell you it's a place of washing. Could be a washer, could be a dishwasher, could be anywhere where people clean the dishes or anything, cars, clothes, what have you. All right, so let's move to the final one. And my final one is different in the layout. The reason for that is you see like a lot of names. Ahmed is a name, and also you see Ahmed is a name, and see Hamid, also a name. You see Mahmoud, also very generic name or very popular name in the Arab and Muslim worlds. And you see Muhammad, but in this one is Mahmad, Muhammad. Well, all these came from the verb Hamada, and Hamada is to praise or to thank, like to praise God or to thank God. Hamada, to praise or he praised. As we said, everything is based off he did in the past tense. So he praises is Yahmud or Yahmid or Yahmud. And then if you want to order someone to praise God, for instance, say Ihmidullah, Ihmidullah. And that's why you see the name Ahmad, Ahmad from Hamada, Ahmad. Hamada is the praise or the thanks that people give it to God or to someone else. But mostly in this one, we utilize it for praising God. And you say here, Hamd. Hamd is the noun, the verbal noun is praise. That's the al-masdar, hamd. Ha has the fatha, and mim with the sukoon. That is hamd. And then we have Hamid is the person who praise God or praise something or praise somebody else. We call it Hamid. And I put the praiser in parentheses, and I'm not quite sure if this is a word, but I looked it up and couldn't find anything, so that's why I don't want to mislead you here if this is not a word, but no, this is the meaning, or what I mean here is the person who praise God or somebody else. Call it Hamid, and it's a very popular name in the Middle East. See, Mahmoud. Mahmoud, this is the subject, fa'il, and this is maf'ul, the object. Mahmoud is the person who is being praised, called Mahmoud, or the thing that's being praised, called Mahmoud. And also it's a popular name in the Middle East, Mahmoud. Mahmoud, the praised. And then Mahmad. Mahmad, according to the rule, is the place of thank, or the place of praising. And the place of praising here, resides in people. And that's why people call themselves or their sons Muhammad, from Hamada. Muhammad, because people being the depot of praising God or thanking God, Muhammad. But Mahmad is the place, and by saying the place means people, and that's it. Muhammad, Mahmoud, Hamid, Ahmed, Ahmed, all came from the verb hamada, to praise or to thank. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. I wish you all the best for your endeavor in the upcoming new year 2023, and I wish you all the best. شكرا جزيلا. أراكم في الفيديو القادم وأراكم في الفيديو القادم يوم الأحد. See you on Sunday. شكرا جزيلا.